where there is another twist in the Trump tariff storm. Now, after Trump announced and paused those tariffs on Mexico and Canada and attacked India, claiming that India is ripping the United States off, he has now announced that he is mulling sanctions on Russia to achieve a peace deal with Ukraine. This comes after Trump froze military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. Now, taking to Truth Social, Trump has said that he is mulling sanctions and tariffs on Russia until a ceasefire agreement is achieved. He has also said that Russia and Ukraine must get to the table for talks before it's too late. And Siddhant continues to be with us on the broadcast. So Siddhant, this is quite a different Donald Trump we're seeing on Truth Social after that spat he had with Zelensky in the Oval Office, now saying, not even announcing, but saying, I am mulling sanctions on Russia, to trying to put some soft kind of pressure on Russia to come to the talking table.
Well, that's right. And in fact, today is Russia's turn, Ayushman. So far in last few days, we saw that how Trump has taken position against Ukraine, President Zelensky. Today was Russia's turn. In fact, first he took to Truth Social, as you rightly said, and he wrote that Russia is absolutely pounding Ukraine on the battlefield right now. I'm strongly considering large-scale banking sanctions and tariffs on Russia until ceasefire and final settlement agreement on peace is reached, perhaps building pressure on Russia to come to the table for the talks. So that is a typical Trumpian style of diplomacy. And in fact, later, while addressing the media at the Oval Office, Donald Trump said that I believe in President Putin. When he was asked that, do you believe in what President Putin is saying? So he said that I believe in President Putin. He also said that right now Russia is bombing the hell out of Ukraine. Ukraine does not have the cards. Easier to deal with Russia. US-Ukraine meeting in Riyadh next week. Perhaps he confirmed that US and Ukraine are going to meet in Riyadh next week. We could expect Donald Trump also to meet President Zelensky in Riyadh. In fact, he also got in Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, to speak to press. And Mike Waltz also said that we think we are going to get things back. Rubio myself will meet Ukraine next week and get the ceasefire in place. So, both Rubio and NSA Waltz will be in Riyadh to meet Ukrainian counterparts. And perhaps from there, the peace talks will resume. The talks with Ukraine will resume. The last time Zelensky was in White House to seal the minerals deal, but he walked out on the last moment. Now, this is after that particular extraordinary meet that both sides are going to meet in Riyadh, and that has been confirmed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump also spoke about, when he was asked that Putin taking advantage of the U.S. pause on intelligence. He said that I think he is hitting them harder, and probably anyone in that position would be doing so. Right. I think he wants to end. And in fact, Trump also said that I have to know they want to settle. We want them to settle. I'm doing this to stop the war. I watched what's happening in Europe. This could end up being the World War III. So Trump again reminded the world that this could end up being World War III. He has again projected himself a believer in peace, Messiah of peace, and he again said that I have to know they want to settle. We want them to settle. I'm doing this to stop the war. Perhaps Trump again is trying to project himself as somebody right. who is giving efforts to bring all parties together so that peace can come to Europe.
Right, but it seems like a very lame duck pressure tactic on Russia, because currently it seems the entire diplomatic strategy is for United States along with Russia to pressure Zelensky to come to a table and make considerable concessions to the Putin regime. Thank you, Siddhant, for joining us on the broadcast with that piece of breaking news. But before we shift focus to another story, let's listen in to what Trump had to say on the Russia-Ukraine war from the Oval Office. He just spoke a few minutes back.
I have to know that they want to settle. I don't know that they want to settle. If they don't want to settle, we're out of there, because we want them to settle. And I'm doing it to stop death, more important than anything else. Secondarily, way down the line is the money. So we're in for $350 billion, and Europe is in for $100 billion. They should be in for the same or more than us. And, I watched over the last week or so what's going on in Europe. This thing could end up in World War III if we don't get it settled. This could really end up in a World War III.